Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe.
Hey everyone, Kenny Tony coming at you today. We got this quick video for you. So today what we're going to be working on is the wiring of this machine. So what I have down here is a wiring harness from the YFZ 450, and here's the wiring harness from the dirt bike. We're going to try to join these two together to make it into one good wiring harness that's going to do everything I want and what I need for this build. Alright, for those of you who follow the channel, first off, thank you, and I appreciate it. Make sure to share, give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, subscribe. So with the YFZ 450, I know the dirt bike is a little different. However, dirt bike stators don't really give a whole lot of power out, but when you get the enduro bikes that have the headlight and the tail lights and things like that, and the starter, that's a big one, these things do give a little bit more power. And the only thing I'm adding to this, why this WR450 stator setup, is a fan that's not going to run 24/7. It's just going to come on and off as the heat goes up and down. So I'm going to tap into those two sensors and a brake light. Everything else is already on the WR, so it shouldn't be that much of a change. So what I'm going to do through the video is I'm going to do 90% of the work off camera. And every time I make a cut and tap something in and solder and whatnot, I'm just going to come back to that connection, let you know what it is and which wires I tapped into. It is going to be quite a boring video, but hopefully at the very end, I'll be able to get this to turn over. Possibly. I might be pushing it because then I still have to get the battery wires. I might not get that done, but we'll go through this together. Alright, so we're going to jump right into this. So we're going to go ahead and start installing the electric components and putting the wires where we want. So the first thing that I put right here is the regulator rectifier. It goes into the stock location and it just fits in with 2 bolts, no modifications needed. Right here is where the CDI is going to sit, and here's the one from the dirt bike motor. And as you see, there's a rip in the boot, but the one from the 450, the boot's right here, and they're about the same size, as you see. So we're going to swap the boots and be able to put that in there here in a little bit. On the handlebars, the kill switch is here, and the start button is here, just like the dirt bike. Squeeze the clutch in, hit the dirt bike, and I got the hot start right there, and start. But the wiring for those are, here's the start, here's the stop. I did cut the wires for the clutch engagement because I'm going to bypass that so I can put the clutch in any gear. Start it with the clutch in any gear. I do go ahead and put the spark plug and the coil pack. It's all like the one assembly. The voltage regulator and pickup and the coil. The wires are here. The neutral safety, it's run underneath. I'm going to tie that into something underneath here. Not sure what yet and how yet, but that's just going to go snug underneath. And I have it going up to here. It's going to go on the inside. It's going to go on the inside. Of all that, and then it's just going to attach to these wires here and then go on up the motor, however I'm going to run those. That's what we're going to work on so far. What we're going to have to tap in are these 2 sensors, and I'm going to tap in a key and those 2 wires for the neutral light that goes up top right here, and there is a wire for the overheating, that those 2 sit on top of the plastic. But looks great. Let's get rolling. So here we are, rectifier there, and we have the WR450 ECU sitting right here. So I put 2 zip ties on it to make sure it was nice and snug, but that's sitting there with the wires run to this side and the other wires running to here. And we have all of the handlebar wires that we're going to be using coming down at about right here. So we're going to start connecting different parts and then measuring to seeing if any of them need to be cut and extended. Alright, so what I've done was button up all my connectors that are already there. So this connector goes up to the front. This is like the start, stop. Over here on the other side, this is the stop. This one is the key one over here. This is the neutral switch that I've already jumped when it was on the WR. The rectifier and the whole ECU has already been plugged in right here with these wires. There's a rectifier and there's the other ones. So there's one wire here that's a little bit too short. So if we go over, you'll see that black plug here, and it has the red and white wire on it. Red and white. It goes down to the one that goes here. I'm not sure if it's, I want to say it's the pickup, but I've already cut the wire, spliced it, made it longer. Here's my butt connectors, and it's going to reach. I'm going to solder these wires together, slide the butt connectors on, heat shrink them, and then turn this right back on. Alright, finger snapping is done. Soldered, heat shrink. I use the one that has the glue in it, so when you shrink them, it gets waterproof connection as well. But that's we're gonna run this underneath here, and then that's going to reach right up to the plug. Now, yes, it does look a mess, but the extensions are becoming less and less. So here we extended the blue, yellow, black wire to the throttle position sensor. It was down here. And then here we got the coil pack wires extended. And we kept these different resistors and whatnot in here. Got to figure out where these two go. Looks like the starter and the relay one's down there. But yeah, overall I think we're moving along, having great progress. We have to add brake light functions. We have to add these two sensors, and I already have the plug for the headlight. So we'll get back to it here in a minute. Alright, so here we are, and we are moving along. What we've run to the back is the brake light switch. The WR already came with them, but they were just the blue and black one. So what we've done was kept the yellow one on from the YFZ. I haven't tapped it into anything yet, but it's free. And it splits off right here and goes to the brake control switch, and then the brown comes out. So I have this brown and this white one free because I don't know where I'm going to put it yet, but we're going to figure that out. I just wanted to show that we are starting to work on the brake light coming out to the rear, and basically I think we have it down to very minimal left. So what we're going to be getting done is we're going to get this extended to be into the rear. This is the starter relay. The actual, I think this is just like a relay fuse, a fuse of some site. It's going to be in the rear as well. Then I got to run the power from the switch, the brake switch, to the back, and that way I can have all the brake lines. So that's what I'm going to be working on now, is getting the brake lines installed. And there we are. So we have moved along. What you see here is I've added my own blue and purple wires here, a little bit thicker, but I've extended the relay to the back, to the rear, and as well as this other relay to the rear. We have the ground tapped in for it. We have the brake over here, and I've used my multimeter to try to trace down the brown wire. So what I found out from the wiring diagrams on the YFZ 450 is that the brown wire plugs in to here, and this plug goes to the brake over there. But when you take this round wire and you trace it back, since I'm adding this online, it showed that it plugs in or it taps into the brown wire up here on the ignition. So what I did was just run that, make sure I used my multimeter to make sure I had continuity between here and there, and I absolutely did. So the brake line there should work. We have to run the front brake line and then get these two plugs in. And don't let me forget the fan. Alright, so here we go. What mess did I run into while doing this? So we do have the battery down there. I can't find my shifter, so I did that to put it in neutral. I have a key on. I bought a key offline off of eBay. The wires weren't right, so it did take me a little bit to make sure that my wires and everything were going to be good. But now when I turn the key on, it works perfect. So the key is on, and when you hit the start button, it turns over. So I'm going to spray some starting fluid in there and make sure that we can get a spark and a little thump 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 or something so that I'll know I can keep going from here. Engine starting fluid. Spray a little bit in the back. That's what I wanted. So that happens, fires up. Now we can finish working on this wiring harness. Alright, so right now we're putting in all the extras. This is the part from the YFZ 450, the neutral safety light, and the temp too high light. So the neutral light, key off, key on. Neutral wire comes from underneath the machine. Down here it's sky blue, so I was able to tap into that and get a neutral light. So I tapped in here with a light blue wire, and then the brown wire that came off the key ignition, they just power those. We need to get power to these two plugs here, one here, one over there, and to the fan and to the front brake, and then we should be done. Alright, so here we are. We have the YFZ 450 hybrid WR outside. What we're going to do is do the first attempt at starting it. I'm not going to lie, it has spark. I've already checked that. But the only thing I'm having an issue with is trying to figure out the brake lights. But here we go. Key. Well, it starts. Hey, I can't complain about it. We got it started at least. We're gonna have to do some adjustment to the carburetor. Sounds like it's backfiring a little bit, so I'm gonna look up, see if that means it's more lean. But I'll check the spark plug here in a minute. I'm getting excited. All right, so all legit. Let's see. Alright everyone, this concludes this video. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe.
This is the end.